Snack calendar.
Oh,
That
yeah.
parent communicates. I sent it 2 days ago. It's going out today.
Today.
We're gonna get it done.
Yes, I'm on it.
I know you have a lot on your plate, but it's important.
Okay.
Do-
Okay. So now, what's MLK over at?
That was for MLK Day.
Do you want me to eat it?
It's already eaten.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I know it's not here.
Protecting the mic. This mic on it. This one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin in 5 minutes. Students, start getting to your seats. Thank you.
What's up, Eric? How are you, sir?
Everything covered?
Yep, we're pretty good.
He's not coming?
No. So, we're good.
Same-
Are we still good for team shots right there at the banner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do team or do you want to do this?
You're gonna do this. I'll do team.
Oh, you want me to do that?
I'll do team.
Gives me those shit jobs. Did you find out about the senior trip?
I didn't get a chance to ask yet. Yeah, I'll find out later tonight, though. Brennan. What's that?
Is there any place in particular you want me to sit?
I think anywhere you want to. I think last row might be open, so
Okay.
thank you. Brennan, test. Brennan.
Griffin Sports Net. Here's what it'll do. So many things right now. You know, we don't know. Okay.
Natalie Hill Library.
I know, I saw that. It's pretty cool. All right. Here's Maggie.
I know, Dad. I know.
Is there batteries?
I don't know. I'm just upset about it. I'm sorry.
I'll go upstairs and see what I can see.
Okay. It's on or whatever, so just let me know.
All right, everyone, we will start in about 2 minutes. Let's get in those seats. Quickly. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No, I didn't. It's fine. It's fine. No worry. We're going to do our thing. All right. You ready to rock, everyone?
All righty. Can everyone hear me okay? Parents of the back. Dr. Ustak, I see you. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, perfect. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Winter Sports Awards ceremony. This is a really special event as we get to honor all of our student athletes for their hard work and their dedication that they displayed throughout the entirety of this season. Tonight is not possible without many, many hands. And so just to start out, there's a lot of thank yous that I want to give out. The first is to our front office staff. Mrs. McHale, Mrs. Emiston, Mrs. Kleppe, Ms. Leakey, Mrs. Mooberry, and everyone else. They were a huge part in getting this event put together and organized, and so we are super appreciative of them. And as you look around, you can see all these decorations. That was all done by our APO, which is our athletic parent organization. Mrs. Nally, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Blake, and so many other parents helped to put it all together and to make this a really beautiful night. So can we please give a round of applause for them as well? And next, I want to thank our coaching staff. They have put in hours upon hours this season to make sure that our student athletes got elite coaching, that they knew they were loved for and that they were cared for, and that they went out there and did a great job. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our GP coaches. And then the next person I want to thank, unfortunately, he is ill tonight, so he wasn't able to join us, but that's our athletic director, Mr. Garrison. None of the thing that we do here is possible without him. Yeah, let's give him a big round of applause. Big round of applause. So unfortunately, he was not feeling well tonight, but kind of what goes along with our theme this year of being built for it, our athletic department, we were ready to step up and to make sure this event went on, all because Mr. Garrison has put together such a great support here at Glendale Prep and has a great community support with you parents, with our coaches, and everyone else. So he's not here tonight, but let's give one more applause to our athletic director, Mr. Garrison. And last, but certainly not least, the reason we are all here tonight is for you, athletes. You guys have put in hours upon hours perfecting your craft, working hard at practices, competing in games, going home late at night getting homework done. The work does not go unnoticed. It is not something that everyone can do. GP athletes, you guys are built for it. And I'm so proud of every single one of you guys for the way you guys conduct yourselves both on and off campus and the way you guys compete. So tonight we're gonna have fun, we're gonna try to be in and out, and we're gonna afterwards have some nice refreshments outside and a time to hang out. So first, help me in welcoming middle school baseball. Hey guys, go line up behind. Middle school baseball went through a rebuild this year and came out ready for next year. Their program has a tremendous growth in numbers, and we are looking forward to seeing these young men grow as young men and as players. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcoming head coach Rafael Sanchez in middle school baseball.
All right. Every year this microphone doesn't work for me, so we're going to see if it does it this year. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. All right. So, like Coach Hawkins said, we went through a serious rebuild last year. Last year I graduated 8 eighth graders. Wasn't sure what our numbers were going to look like this year. This year we were lucky enough to have not only an A team, but we also had a B team. And the B team is who we're going to read off the awards first. These guys had a really good season. We went 3-5 for guys who have limited baseball experience, and they went out there and proved that they're ready for the game. So, first up, we're gonna go with the Whatever It Takes award. This one's gonna go to Noah Gilmore. All right. This guy right here is going to be a force here at GP. He's the first guy at the field. He's the last one to go home. Always has questions about where he needs to be, how he can get better. His attitude is super infectious to the rest of these guys, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he grows, as he goes through the rest of these years here. Next up, Next Man Up Award, Sean O'Meara. Come here, man. Take your bow. This guy right here is the toughest kid I know. He is the catcher for the B team. He's an outfielder that's played up on the A squad. This guy does it all. And this smile that he's trying to hide right now, every day at practice, every day during games, never goes away. Love this guy. Can't wait to see again how he grows throughout this program. Good job, buddy. And then our Griffin Award winner. This goes to Nathan Fergoso. Again, take the ball. Say hello to the people. How's it going? This guy right here, again, super tough character. Very first game I saw him play in, he gets hit by a ball. Thought he was going to die. He didn't. Bounced right back and had an amazing season, not just on the mound, but in the field. He is also, again, a player who had a lot of time on the A team as well as the B team. So, again, really looking forward to see how these young men grow as we progress through this baseball program. Good job, buddy. All right, the A team. Now, the A team went through their bumps this year, but we came out really, really strong towards the end, and I'm looking to see how we put it all together. So first up is the Next Man Up Award is Caden Moncrief. Right? So Caden was called up really early to be an A-team player for us, and I mean, he shined from the top. I've put him against grown-looking men on the other side of town, and he never wilted, he never backed down. This guy's done it all. Super proud of this kid, and I'm looking forward to seeing, with a couple more years, where he brings us as a baseball program. Good job, buddy. Next up is the Whatever It Takes Award, Luke Navarrete. You're welcome, sir. Take a ball. Hey, Luke is the kind of player that coaches love to have in their system. He was always willing to learn and play any position that would allow him to be on the field. He was never afraid to ask for help with understanding a situation and how to perform a task, and he never pouted if he didn't get in the game. He never complained. He was the biggest rah-rah guy we had, and that was huge because it helped spark some of the rallies that we had this year. So this kid is, again, he's the perfect guy to have on a team because he was definitely team first all season. Good job, bud. All right. Griffin Award winner, Corbin Kim. As you can tell from his teammates, they love this guy. Corbin was an offensive juggernaut for us this year. He led the team statistically in, I think, all but like 2 categories. And that was even coming off of an injury where he didn't get to play the whole season. This kid right here is a huge spark. The guys love him. The coaches love him. The other teams feared him. That's what made him an easy choice for us as coaches to make him the Griffin Award winner. Good job, bud.
Thank you, Coach Sanchez in middle school baseball. Let's give him one more round of applause as they head on out. Alrighty, since we're all cheering, why don't you guys help me cheer on middle school B2 soccer as they come up to the stage. The desire to play middle school soccer this year at GP was so great that we had the best of problems on our hands. We had to open up an uninspected third team. Let's give our ladies some applause for that alone. This love of the game is noteworthy because it was an everyday factor in practices and games for the B team. Many of these ladies came to soccer never played before in their lives, yet they came with a fierce desire to learn, to compete, and to become excellent. Please help me welcome Coach Yost in middle school B2 soccer.
Whatever it takes. When I first took over B2 a week or so into the season, I was a little intimidated by the fact that the team was already incredibly comfortable with each other. Everyone already seemed to have a nickname and an inside joke. You can imagine my intimidation rising when I found I was responsible for giving an award that was described to me as going to a player who works with incredible diligence, but who does so quietly, under the radar, and without seeking the spotlight. Spending 5 minutes with this incredibly energetic group makes it impossible to even conceptualize the word quiet. But then I started to notice one player in particular. She would listen intently when I explained, to the point that she could reteach the drills to her peers who may not have been listening. She would ask me questions after practice. I could see it on her face when she knew she hadn't quite perfected a skill, and she would work even harder on the next repetition to get it right. She was always eager to volunteer to help out in whatever way she could, and she was open to trying new positions and strategies. I have great confidence that this young lady will continue to thrive, not just in soccer, if she pursues all of her future endeavors with this same reliable, solid determination. The Whatever It Takes award goes to Miss Charlie Heskell. The next woman up. This is also a hard award to assign because I could speak volumes on how much each one of these ladies has grown. From the basic passing skills, to confidence on ball, to awareness of the essential rules of the game. I've been humbled to witness immense progress this season. However, if you ask anyone on B2 what piece of coaching they heard most often, they'd probably all shout out spacing. For those who may not know, spacing is essential for soccer because there's an innate human instinct to run towards the ball whenever it's even marginally close to you. One of the most important leaps a player makes in learning the game is developing the patience and awareness to know when to charge the ball and when to trust a teammate to take it, and where you should be going instead to support that teammate. And these are skills that I saw develop immensely in this team's next woman up. While she still played with the same aggression and speed that I saw from the very first practice, this player became simultaneously one of the wisest and most patient ladies on the field. The next woman up is Miss Maddie LaVerrier. The Griffin Award. I interpret this award as even more than an MVP. The Griffin Award goes to a player who is valuable to the team not just in a match, but as a role model and leader. The B2 recipient is a young lady who was first to model silent, respectful listening when I gave instructions in practice. She would always seek ways to serve, fetching gear before practices, sprinting to turn off the lights after practice, and asking what else she could do at every break. Sometimes I had to force her to hydrate instead of picking up cones, even when her face was drenched in sweat from how hard she'd been practicing. And this sweat, this effort, this is another reason she was the most valuable. She sprinted after every ball, called and pointed out coverage to her teammates, and cheered and encouraged loudly. This player put in minutes at just about every position, a testament to her knowledge for the game and humble heart of service. But I put her most frequently as the anchor of our defense, because she took care not just of her own task, but helped assistant coach and elevate the players around her when not on ball. I'm immensely proud of our Griffin Award winner, Miss Chloe Keith.
Thank you, B2 Girls Soccer. Let's give it up for Coach Yost and the girls. Next up, I would like to invite our middle school B girls soccer team. Please help welcome them to the stage. The middle school girls B soccer team finished with a final record of 6 wins and 2 losses. This amazing group of girls was only scored on in 2 games, both to the same opponents, our kryptonite, Scottsdale Prep. With a mixture of club level players and girls who had picked up the sport for the first time, our middle school B team was a force to be reckoned with. Please help me welcome Coach Karg and middle school B girls soccer.
All right. So, like Mr. Hawkins said, we were a force to be reckoned with. I cannot stress that enough. This is my second year here at GP. After my first year here, I thought, could it get any better? And yeah, it can. It can get a lot better. My team last year was amazing. This team was even better. As a team, as a family, and as individual players, they never failed to impress me. So, we're going to start with our awards now. Looks like we're going to go with my first award, which is going to be the Whatever It Takes award. This player was one of the most hardworking players on this team. Her ability to dribble through any defender was like a cartoon where you see everybody get into a big brawl and one person steps out. That was like her with the soccer ball. Our first award, the Whatever It Takes award, goes to Naomi Burge. Our second award goes to, or our second award is the Next Man Up award. This player has never played competitive soccer in her life. Her first thing she said to me as her coach was, "Hey coach, I want to try goalkeeper because sometimes my mom takes shots at me and sometimes I stop them." This player went from being one of our newest players to being probably one of our strongest and most competitive players. She is an 8th grader who will unfortunately leave me and weaken our back line next year, but I know she will strengthen up the high school team, whether that's varsity or JV. Our Next Man Up award goes to Zarema Lemon. Final award is the Griffin Award. The Griffin Award is going to go to one of my captains, one of my leaders of this team. She has been a constant rock on this team, whether that's been with team bonding, her playing ability, and even just her telling jokes at practice, literally every single practice. This player was an A-B level player last year, and she was an A-B level player this year, and hopefully next year she'll be fully on the A-team as one of the starters and one of the top players. Our Griffin Award goes to Lizzie Schlafman. All right, and one more time, give it up for our middle school B team.
Yep. All righty, thank you, Coach Karg. And now we have a very special group coming up, and that is our middle school A girls soccer team. Help me and welcome me coming up. The middle school A team dazzled fans and spectators with a high-octane attack and relentless defending, but it was the willingness to pass and to commit to off-the-ball movement that really took the team to new heights during this special season. The team embodied their motto of work hard, play hard, leading to an unprecedented success. They outscored their opponents 72-9 during an undefeated regular season, highlighted by a thrilling 6-4 win at Scottsdale Prep. While the Griffins ultimately lost the championship to the talented Scottsdale team, they showcased the core values of love, belief, trust, and of course, fun throughout the whole season. No one played harder and no one had more fun than the Griffins this year. Please help me in welcoming Coach Fuller.
All right, when you've coached a few seasons, some of them start to blend together a little bit. Sometimes you think, wow, that was a great season, and you think back to it and you're like, why was it great? I just remember general feeling, maybe not specifics. This year was not like that. This year there are so many specifics I can think back to and think, wow, that was a great moment that I'll remember for a long time. And I know these girls will remember this for a long time as well. The game against Scottsdale Prep, 6-4, is probably the best game of middle school girls soccer I've ever seen in my life. And let's just give them a round of applause for that. And while we eventually lost to that team, very good team, we still had an amazing season. And you know, we've got a little hardware over here too, so. Here, somebody should hold this. Yeah. All right. So I've got a few awards to give. I told them over there that I was going to say something really cheesy along the lines of, I wish I could give an award to everybody. So, you know, but really cheesy. All right, so first up is the Whatever It Takes Award. I couldn't decide on just one, so there's two. But I'll start off with one individual who, certain positions I gave people a lot of freedom to be creative, to go where they felt like, to find space, to attack when they wanted to. In order to have that freedom, though, we need players that can hold their position. We need players that know what they're doing and have the discipline to support that. So this player definitely did that for our team. She played the 6, defensive mid, and enabled us to really play the way we wanted to play. She enabled us to find a lot of switches, to pass very well. She was consistent, a great leader, great soccer player, great touch on the ball. When teachers watched us play, it was often her they'd point out and say, hey, who was that player? I had that happen on multiple occasions. So it's with great honor that I get to give the award to Bella Cummings, BC. You're welcome. All right, next up, the other half of the backbone of our team, as we call them, another midfielder, a little different style, very aggressive, the most feared player on the team. Sometimes ourselves feared her, but definitely the other team. She brought a swagger to this team, an intensity that was really appreciated and really needed. Every team needs one of these, somebody who carries himself with a lot of passion. This year, she really improved in being able to control that passion and use it in the right ways. I'm really proud of her and how much she's grown and everything she's meant to this team. It's Pepe Medea. She was one of the best passers and one of the best defenders that I've coached, so it was often hard to know where to play her. All right, next up, our next Woman Up Award is somebody coming in this season. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew she'd been playing some in the off season, had no idea really where she'd end up playing. She became really important as our backup goalkeeper. Every team wants to have a good backup goalkeeper. But you think, well, that's not that important, right? Well, when your starting goalkeeper gets hurt, it's very important. Before we had that injury, though, she proved her worth playing defensively, one of the best defenders on a very good defensive team. But in goal, in the championship game, she showed herself to be extremely bold, we especially loved the pictures of her face. Her game face was intimidating. And it turns out she played the second half of the game with a sprained wrist and didn't tell anyone. But none other than Kira Schwimmer. All right, so for the last player, I have a quote. Coach DePietro often leaves quotes lying around the faculty office. I think she's trying to send a message or something. I don't know. So I picked up one of her quotes just lying about, and I really liked it, and I think it encapsulates this player. It says, champions don't show up to get everything they want. They show up to give everything they have. So when I think of a player who shows up to give and give and give, this player's done that for the last 4 years and has really taken this team to new heights in the last 4 years. She's helped build this legacy, and she will continue to do so at the high school level next year. I'm really proud of this player and her amazing ability and her amazing leadership as well. Nikki Sensakovic-Gibo. All right, thank you.
Sorry, I was walking a little slow there on that transition. But let's give it up one more time for middle school girls soccer. Now, please help me in giving a warm welcome to our middle school boys soccer. What an amazing season for the middle school boys B team. Despite missing players nearly every other week due to medical or COVID absences, along with a rough start, this season was marked with some great wins, including a blowout win at Maryville Prep and a thrilling comeback to force a draw versus Basis Phoenix. This team continued to work hard every game and never quit no matter the circumstances, truly living up to the Griffin standard. Please help me in welcoming Coach Pierre and the middle school boys soccer.
This is my first year at Glendale Prep, as many of you guys may know, and I'm proud to have been welcomed into the Griffin family. I really enjoyed coaching this team. Honestly, they really helped me grow, not just as a coach, but as a person. This team always fought, no matter anything. If we were down a player, down two players, they always kept their head in the game. I was proud to be able to coach them, and I was proud to be able to prepare them for next year and hopefully to keep playing in this program. So, thank you. The first award I have to present is the Whatever It Takes award. Instantly, when I read the description for this award, one player came to mind. Our goalkeeper, Ethan Koenig. Ethan always kept his head high and became more vocal as the season went on. For this reason, he was a team captain. He always had something to say or pitch in and was always very helpful in practice. He always gave his best effort both in practice and in game for this reason, I give him the Whatever It Takes award. The next award I want to present is the Next Man Up award. Again, when I read this, first thing that popped to mind was Matthew Mahoney. Matthew, from day one, was always striving to improve his game and give maximum effort on and off the field. He always learned from any mistakes he might have made at the beginning of the season and applied it in the game. And that's what you want to see as a coach, taking what you learn in practice and applying it. He never failed to challenge people many times his size, and for this reason, he wins the Next Man Up award. You're welcome. The last award I want to present is the Griffin Award. This was described to me as the Most Valuable Player Award, but it's even more than that, as I've heard. So for this, I had to think, I had to ponder, and I came to one answer. And for me, it was Jackson Foreman. Jackson showed up to every game in practice and did everything he was asked to do. He was a leader on and off the field, always communicating with his teammates and trying to keep their spirits high. He was a force in the midfield, always being in the right spot, hustling after some balls, and igniting some offense with some booming clearances. He always looked to score, and he finally got one in the final game with an amazing free kick. Honestly, I was shocked when I saw it. He got better every game, and it was a pleasure to have him on the team. So, Jackson Foreman, MVP, he's not here, but yeah.
All right, let's give another big congratulations to Middle School B Soccer. And now help me as we welcome our Middle School A Boys Soccer.
I have all your notes right here. I'll read the blurb. Okay.
The numbers say the team had a league record of 5-4-0 and lost in the semifinals of the playoffs, but that is not the real story. This was a journey based on grit, determination, and toughness. It was a process of mistakes made and lessons learned. It was about a positive attitude and a great team chemistry, about players who played for each other and a real commitment to excellence. Middle school boys soccer made a commitment at the beginning of the season to get better in every moment, every practice, and every game. They were determined to be better than they were before. This relentless quest for excellence was a driving force behind their progress towards a third-place finish in the league and a semifinal appearance in the playoffs. Let's welcome Coach Lester at Middle School Boys A Soccer.
Okay, before going through the stuff about the team, I hope everyone here understands how lucky we are to be a part of this program. We went to some games where there were no nets on the goals, there was no scoreboard, there was 1 or 2 referees instead of 3. You don't know how lucky you are until you travel to some of these other places and you have the type of support that Matthew and Mr. Garrison put together. You're very, very lucky. Okay, so that's my first thing. Second thing, I want to thank my assistant coach, Mr. Zhivku, for all his hard work. Without him, our program would not be half as successful. Now, in terms of our season, the more I coach, and it's now been 37 years I've been a soccer coach, the more I understand it's not about the wins and the losses. It's not about where you finish in league that's the important thing. It's about the people, the personalities. It's about how they develop as a player and how they develop in terms of their character. It's about creating lifelong friends and lifetime memories. It's about lessons learned. So lessons we learned this year: never quit. Number of games we were down goals, came back and won the game. It's learn from your mistakes. Early in the season, we gave up goals to lose games in the last 5 minutes. End of the season, we won games in the last 5 minutes. It's about the team. It's about different players stepping up in different games. It's about having a positive attitude, always being our best. We started 2-4. We finished 5-4, made the playoffs. Hard work pays off. It's okay to compete. It's about having a fearless mentality, not being afraid to make mistakes and learn from those. And it's about soccer being the greatest game ever invented. Come on. Okay, so in terms of the awards, whatever it takes, this player would do anything to make the team successful. He's the ultimate team player. Did not complain or question decisions, just got it done. He played any position, any role, it was fine as long as he got to play. Total commitment to being the best he could be any given moment. The original Energizer Bunny, and it's Isaac Maskovich. Next award is the Next Man Up Award. It's going to someone who's a fantastic athlete who chose to play soccer. Very athletic, great hand-eye coordination. Initially not very experienced, but prepared to be totally focused and give everything he could to help his team be successful. Great role model for the younger players, always positive, on task, focused. And that goes to Caden Bridges. Our Griffin Award goes to an amazing player, true game changer, not just a game winner, but a positive role model for his teammates. Always worked hard, very positive, always there to support the younger players. No sacrifice was too much. He just wanted the team to succeed. In key moments, scored amazing goals to rescue victory from defeat. And again, a true role model, everything a Griffin means, and that's Julian Henna. Let's go, Julian!
Thank you, Coach Lester in middle school A soccer. Thank you, guys. And now for our final middle school team of the evening, please give a big, big round of applause to our middle school softball team. And now please help me in welcoming Coach Dave Marver.
Well, this is my first year here, so I'm trying to get used to all this, but my full team's not here, but I do have 7 lovely young ladies that worked really hard this season. It was a very fun and it was an eye-opening experience for me since I'm used to coaching 18U level club teams that we travel around the country to play, and suddenly I get about 6 girls who have never played before, a couple of club players, and a few other girls that have some limited experience. So it was a fun and rewarding time, so it really helped me as a coach. The thing I liked about it, we went 7-2 for the season, and we end up losing by 1 in the semifinals, which I think still haunts all of our ladies on the team. I know it still does me. So I do have 3 awards to give out, and some are not here, but I just want to go through this anyways. For my Whatever It Takes award, it goes to Elizabeth Putka. Thinking about this award, it was difficult because a lot of these girls are all deserving of everything, but Elizabeth was like my team mom. She would take care of the extra chatting, she'd tell the other players to stop talking, she would learn as much as she could from all the instruction and pass it on to the other girls during practices too. I really enjoyed my time working with her and help her improve and progress her skills, even if she felt uncomfortable with some of the techniques, but she never complained. She might question me at times, but it was a learning type of questions. This is why Elizabeth is deserving of the award. The second award, the Next Woman Up Award. This young lady is not here also. This one would go to Chloe Alexander. This young 5th grader never even attempted to play this game before. When I first met her, she couldn't catch, she couldn't throw very well, she couldn't really even swing a bat, and she rarely could even speak to me. I think it was about after 2 weeks of practices, her mom told me that Chloe wanted to quit, and her mom said she wouldn't let her. And I was very happy because I said, I'm not going to let her quit either. So I do thank her mom for supporting and being supporting of her daughter. By the time the season ended, Chloe decided to buy into the hitting approach and actually swing hard in the box. She won many bunting and contact contests at the end of practices and also decided to try to catch fly balls during practice instead of letting them hit the ground. I am very proud of Chloe for her hard work, her effort, and believing in my instruction as a coach. This is why Chloe is the best representative of this award. My last award, the Griffin Award, goes to Violet Eisentraut. I feel that Violet was not only a great player, but she was also a great leader in helping with all the inexperienced players on the team. Even though she is quiet and a little bit shy, she definitely showed her leadership abilities when asked, and many times on her own without these young ladies, helping these young ladies. She has a great aptitude of the game and the skills to go with it. Violet was one of our pitchers and also had to learn how to play catcher position on the fly. She did what was needed to help the team with 100% effort and attitude. She grew as a player, a pitcher, and a leader as the season wore on. This is why I feel Violet is a recipient of the Griffin Award.
Thank you, Coach Marver in middle school softball. Alrighty, and now is similar to our 7th inning stretch. This is where we switch over from middle school to high school. But first, I wanted to just one last time, let's give a big round of applause to all of our middle school athletes. I had the amazing opportunity to get to watch each and every single one of these teams, and let me tell you, it's not the future, you guys are the right now, all right? So the work you guys are putting in, don't stop now. This is where we continue to get better. I know Mr. Garrison's extremely proud of you. I'm extremely proud of you. Your parents love you and support you. That's why they drive you to all your practices. Tell them you love them. And yeah, perfect. So now we are going to go over some announcements, and we have some special recognitions that we want to go over tonight. So the first, we want to give a big shout out to our strength and conditioning program. I don't know if Coach Cummeth and Coach Michelson are here today. No, let's give them a big round of applause. So Coach Michelson and Coach Cummeth worked with each and every single one of our high school programs, both preseason, during season, and they have made a huge impact on this campus and on our culture. They have taken our teams to the next level, and we are super appreciative of the times that they have and how they are just so creative in everything that they do. The next group we want to congratulate. Do I have any Griffin Boom members in the audience tonight? No? If not, let's keep giving them a round of applause. So Griffin Boom is our drum line that we started this year, and they have added such a great experience to our game day environment. So we are super grateful for Mr. Lyles and his leadership with the program and everything that they bring. The next up is our athletic parent organizations. I don't think Mr. Terpstra is here tonight, but I know Mrs. Terpstra is. Mrs. Terpstra and Mr. Terpstra are the president of the athletic parent organization. Oh, yep, round of applause, sorry. So Mr. Terpstra is in charge of organizing all of our parent volunteers for games. Those are people at the ticket gate, at the concessions, and alongside of them, I want to give a thank you to the Gameros family. They're here in the building tonight. They did almost every single one of our home basketball and soccer games at the gate, and we are just so thankful for the time that they have sacrificed to help GP Athletics. Thank you, Gameros family. Also want to give a shout out to Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Krieger. They ran our concessions this season, and let's give them a big round of applause as well. And then he is also in the building tonight, our athletic trainer, James Imhoff. James, would you stand for us? James sees all of our athletes when they have injuries. He is awesome when communicating with coaches and getting athletes back onto the court or field of competition. Next up, I can't leave them out because they make my job extremely easy. Our photographers, Mr. McBee and Mr. Long. Where are you guys at? They truly take the best photos out of any photographers in the state. We are so lucky for the time that they spend traveling to games, editing photos, and we are so thankful for them. One big more round of applause for all of our athletic support. So now we are going to transition to our high school programs. So now I would like to invite high school girls basketball. The 2021-2022 Lady Griffin High School basketball program displayed 2 resilient seniors, 2 tenacious on-defense juniors, 2 eager and coachable sophomores, 7 competitive freshmen, and 4 willing coaches. This multiple group demanded the respect within and without our region, not just for this year, but for years to come. Placing 3rd in the region, these Lady Griffins competed against the top teams in 2A basketball. Even though the adversities of COVID and injuries, this group never quit. They always played to the very last second. In the last game of the regular season, the Lady Griffins were victorious over the higher-seeded Scottsdale Prep. Winning by 1 point, the Lady Griffins launched into the first round of the postseason. Please help me in welcoming Coach DePietro and high school girls basketball.
I have a couple thank yous. First, I'd like to thank Mr. Garrison and the admin team for their continued support. Thank you, parents, for buying into the program, showing up each game ready to cheer, traveling 4.5 hours one way to support the girls in Morenci. Thank you to the Smith family and to my sister Emily for keeping the scorebook each game. And I want to thank my coaching staff. I'm convinced that we have the best 2A girls basketball coaching staff in the state. So can we give them a round of applause? And we had Coach Michelson, Coach Kane, Coach Cooley, and Coach Lom. And then lastly, I want to thank the girls. All 12 of you worked hard all year to be your best selves, so thank you. And then I'd like to take 1 second to recognize our seniors. So Audrey and Arushi, will you come up? Audrey, thank you for your faithfulness to the girls' basketball program. You've dedicated many hours outside of the spotlight, traveling with us to tournaments in order to film, coming to practice to run the scoreboard, and always being ready to help on game days. You were one of the founding GOATs at Glendale Prep and are truly the #1 GOAT. So thank you, Audrey. Arushi, like I told you, at the final game of your high school career, saying goodbye to you is hard. You've been on every one of my teams since you were in 6th grade. I guess, you know, I liked that. Hopefully you did too. You've been a joy to coach in the Lady Griffin basketball program. Thank you for the hours you've dedicated through middle school, through high school, and for the leader that you've become. So congratulations on your senior year. So last year I started a tradition of giving the seniors a hoop and a ball because, like I always say, keep shooting. So you can take this wherever you go. All right, thank you, seniors. All right, my Griffin Award goes to Abby Fleming. Abby is a leader on and off the court. She leads through example and is a hustle player as well as a lockdown defensive player on the court. She had to sit out during our Christmas tournament due to COVID protocols. I think Provid would be good. COVID protocols? Okay. And still came every day to cheer and support our game on the east side of the state. So thank you, Abby. Okay. My Next Man Up award goes to Joanna. Joe. Joe, I feel like I've coached you for longer than just one season, and I'll tell you why. You've been attending every workout, every summer league game, every opportunity to improve yourself since you graduated 8th grade. At practice, you work hard on your shot and your basketball skills. During games, you were truly ready at any time to be that next man up and on the court. So congratulations, Joe. And then lastly, we have the Whatever It Takes award. This award goes to Maggie Hawkins. Maggie showed up almost to every single off-season workout and open gym. She stayed late to shoot. She ran sprints on her own to get in shape. You may not think I noticed, but I did. Okay. She wanted to do what it takes to win. Mid-season, Mags was hit with a bad ankle injury. She worked hard in rehab and was able to return for the last few games of the season. She did what it takes. All right, and then we had some region awards, right?
All right, so at this time, I'm going to announce some of our high school, well, not some, all of our high school girls basketball region awards. These were awards that coaches within the region voted for, and these girls all got recognition. So starting off with our honorable mentions, I'm going to say all the names, then let's applaud after. We have Arushi Puri, Abby Fleming, Maddie Kaspers, Maggie Hawkins, and Senna Smith. Let's give them a round of applause. For second team all region, we have Abby Smith. And last but certainly not least, our 2A Central Coach of the Year, MJ DePietro. Let's give one more big round of applause for high school girls basketball. And now help me in welcoming varsity boys soccer. The varsity boys soccer program battled through its schedule and continued to improve on their progress from last year. The highlight of this season was playing against River Valley at the Anderson Fieldhouse and coming home with a big region victory. Falling just out of a play-in spot, the core group of this team is more than prepared to continue to obtain their goal of reaching the playoffs. With 6 players receiving region recognition, it shows that this team is making their competition take notice. Please help me in welcoming Coach Langford in varsity boys soccer.
So just like I said before, we battled through our schedule. Our schedule had roughly 7 changes from the first game to the last game that were either rescheduled or a change in opponent due to not being able to reschedule with the original opponent. This year, it was very hectic at times. Yet, despite all of that, all of the guys were able to keep motivated, continue to push, continue to improve, and stay prepared for whatever opponent was next on our list. And with that being said, there's a couple of thank yous I want to throw out. First, I would like to thank the guys for putting their trust in me and the program, as well as Coach Pedro and everybody else involved in the soccer program. You guys buying into what we were trying to accomplish this year is what led to our success this year. So with that, I want to say thank you, boys. A couple other shout outs. I want to say thank you to team parents that helped out this year, whether it was making sure that our guys had food and snacks on away trips or setting up things like end of the year events. And also staying in contact with me throughout the season to make sure that the boys were taken care of. So I want to say thank you to them. And I also want to say thank you to my assistant coach who, unfortunately, due to change in schedule, was not able to help out as much as we initially expected, but he still played a big role. I'm very confident in many things as a coach, but there's one thing that I'm definitely not, and that's being a goalie. And so for him to be able to come in and help with training our goalkeeper and keeping an eye out for other things that I possibly might not have seen during games or training sessions, it was a great help to have, and I want to give a thank you to Coach Pedro as well. So with those out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and go right into my awards. This year, we had a pretty serious injury before the season started. With that injury, it left a pretty big void as far as our leadership went, because that injury took one of our captains away, and we had to really get that person, that next person to step up and help out. And so my whatever it takes goes to Joe Sensakovich-Gibo. So Joe helped drastically in leading the team. He was always willing to accept constructive criticism and always tried to fix his mistakes. He started to adapt how he played to our style, and it better suited the team and kept them reminded of the goals that we were looking to accomplish in this season. He was able to step up and help not only with the communication between the players and myself, but also when it came to explaining drills or certain things on the field. He was that buffer between the players and myself, and really did make a huge difference. And again, thank you for that. Well done, Joe. My next award is my Next Man Up award. Unfortunately, he is not here, but that goes to Jacob Brendan. The reason why I awarded him this Next Man Up award was because he improved drastically. Every year, he is one of those players that in the back of my mind, I have to decide, is he starting? And if he is, whose spot is he taking? He made it really, really easy this year to keep him in that same area in the back of my head with his performances throughout the season. He's been fighting and earning more playing time, including scoring multiple goals this year, and one of them against probably our toughest game of the season being against Veritas, where he had a remarkable goal that I don't think any of us saw coming. And so with that being said, the Next Man Up award goes to Jacob Rendon. Lastly, I have my Griffin Award. Grant stepped up as one of the team captains this year, taking on many responsibilities, including assist in the operations of our team. Grant led the team in warm-ups, was one of the first people to show up for a team event or practice, a game even, and was one of the last to leave. When Grant made mistakes in practices and on the field, he was the first to take responsibility for them and ask how to fix and to do it better the next time. He helped with keeping the information flowing through the team and helped keep track of players who missed practice, etc., to make sure that they were being held accountable. He was never the most attention-grabbing player on the field, but he was consistent, and he was one of the backbones for this program for myself for the last 2 years. And so with that being said, the Griffin Award goes to Grant Wright. And then lastly, I have one more thing that I would like to say. I'm going to ask Jason Butterworth, please step up. Last year when I took over the high school program, I was told that there was one player that if I got him to buy in, everybody else would fall in line. And that one player was Jason Butterworth. This year, in the beginning of the year, he had an unfortunate injury that took him out for his entire senior year. And for anybody who's ever played high school sports, you understand how devastating that truly can be. Despite that, when he was able to, he was making it to practice. He was coming out saying, "Coach, I noticed this. Can we try working on this in practice so that the guys can hopefully improve for future games and future stuff like that?" So I wanted to say thank you, not only for continuing to stay committed to the program despite having an injury that you knew you were not going to be able to play this year, but also being, just like Grant, one of those backbone of this team. So thank you.
Now I will read off our Region Award winners for boys soccer. For our second team winners, we had Carter Blake, Joe Sensikovich-Gibo, and Sammy Squires. And for our first team all-region selections, we had Hudson Grotti and Jacob Sensikovich-Gibo. And additionally, today we found out that for the 3A All-Conference, Jacob Sensikovich-Gibo was elected as an honorable mention. Congratulations, Jacob. Thank you again, Coach Leo in boys varsity soccer. Next up, we will invite high school JV girls soccer to the stage. The Glendale Prep High School Junior Varsity Soccer team came together this season as a group of players aspiring to learn the game and expand their athletic experiences. The competitive and close games they played this season demonstrated their dedication to growth and teamwork. The girls on this team are developing into the next generation of players that will someday grace our varsity program. Please help me in welcoming head coach Robert Ramsey.
Thank you. Without JV, we wouldn't have varsity. We need a JV team to help us build and continue to have a program that exemplifies everything that we're trying to do here at the school. This year's junior varsity team welcomed 12 new players into our program, which was amazing to have so many fresh faces. What was more amazing is a lot of these girls came out here and never played organized soccer. So we're talking about high school competitive soccer, 80-minute games, expecting to run 3 to 6 miles and still perform at a high level. It was amazing that they came out and even tried it, let alone stick with it. Did it all season, and not a single person quit or even talked about quitting. So it was awesome that they came out and did it. Tryouts were not easy. Training wasn't easy, especially with me. They know that. And the competition that they played against was relentless. Throughout the whole process, no one gave up. They had a desire to learn, and they were always out to improve and perfect everything that they were trying to do on the field. When they got to the field, when they got done with the games, everything was desire for this team. The dedication and growth of these young ladies really promises to hold our varsity to a high standard every year as they move up and continue to improve in our program. So with that being said, I'm going to do some awards for the JV girls. So let's see. So first up, I'll do the Next Woman Up Award. We get a script of what the award is supposed to mean, and for me, they mean a lot more. This could go around to a lot of the players. For the Next Woman Up Award, I have a player that started the season as a complete beginner, and it was kind of fun to watch because it was like, hey, which foot do I even use to kick the ball with? So we had some entertainment with that. But this young lady improved every single day, worked hard. We got into the final few games where we were playing some of the best JV teams in the state, and this young lady was shutting down attacks where teams were throwing varsity players into us to try to win. So Next Woman Up Award goes to Sophia Nakachi. Okay, Whatever It Takes Award. I have a player on my team that I asked to do double duty, play multiple positions. So she was training twice as much as everybody else, working out, doing all kinds of things. I don't know when she had time to do her homework, but she did. This award, Whatever It Takes, really epitomizes that she put in the hours and the drive to make sure that she supported us on the JV side as a junior, and she supported us on the varsity side as a backup, and then as a player that I could really stick into any game, into really any position, and work hard even if it wasn't something that we really trained with. So whatever it takes award goes to McKenna Rogers. And finally, we'll do a Griffin Award for the JV team. With the JV team, with a lot of new and younger players, it's hard to really just at the beginning say, hey, you're the leader of my team or you're the captain of my team, because you just don't know who it is because they're new, they're first year in high school, some of them are freshmen. So we play our games, we go through training, and we watch these young ladies grow. We watch them on their own start to lead their teammates. They know what to do, they offer advice. They help the players that don't know what they're doing look better than they actually are. So I have a player that did all of these things, got a battlefield promotion to the varsity team. So really she pulled some double duty also, but she got a battlefield promotion just because of her grit and her desire to play hard all the time. She did go up and play some varsity with us. She probably has what we would call the Golazo of the year. She scored a killer goal up in Bullhead City in a varsity game, not expecting, but just killed it. So the Griffin Award goes to Lorelei Forseth. So real quick in closing, I want to thank the middle school coaches for all that they do. Mr. Yost, Mr. Fuller, and Coach Karg. If it wasn't for middle school, we would not be able to have these young ladies step up and continue to fortify our program as we go into the really competitive 3A division that we play in. So thank you guys, wherever you are. And thank you, parents. Okay, it's yours.
All right, let's give one more round of applause to our JV high school girls soccer team. And then also at this time, I ask that we give a big warm welcome to the high school varsity girls soccer team. The Glendale Prep High School Girls Varsity Soccer Team completed another superb competitive season. The team posted an outstanding performances en route to their second consecutive postseason appearance and second place in the 3A Northwest region. This team is poised to challenge for next season's region championship as well as making another postseason run. Again, help me welcome Coach Ramsey.
Thank you. I'm back again. Varsity. Varsity had a wonderful year. A lot of people just only remember the last game they played. Devastating playoff loss, just one goal, but one game doesn't define the season. They had a wonderful year. They broke records that they set last year, considering that they had a lot of obstacles to overcome this year. We lost our starting back line defensively, which is something that's really devastating when you consider that every year, not only the region champion, but the state champion comes out of our region. So we are always playing the best of the best, and these young ladies come out and fight for it every single game. This year, when we finished the season, we had a lot of talk about what the players could do to improve and things like that. I'll just say that before the season even started, these girls were already playing. They were in the weight room pumping iron. The coaches were sending me the lifting schedules and what these girls were doing. And I'm telling you, if you've never seen a group of girls lift weights, these girls do it. They got killer numbers, and I couldn't be more proud of them for that. So thank you, ladies. Last year, these ladies set a lot of records, a lot of varsity records. It was truly incredible. So this year, we need to know how good we are going to be before we hit the postseason. So I wasn't going to make it easy for them, and they probably didn't appreciate all that came at them, but again, they worked through it. We started the year with a 6A scrimmage, which they held a 6A varsity team to 0-0. And from that, it didn't get any easier. They immediately went into a 4A tournament where they played 4A games, made it to a championship game. En route to that, they beat 4A St. Mary's, which was a huge accomplishment. at the time, and they only lost to the third-ranked team in the state. So they really killed it. From then, we had our schedule set up. We had a lot of changes. We had to pick up a lot of games, and honestly, when you get to the point where teams that only want to play you are the teams that are going to win the region, you know your schedule is going to be tough. But these girls played the best of the best all year, made it to that first round of the playoffs, and just had a wonderful year. So I can't wait for next year. We're losing 3 seniors in Brianna Cantor, and Faith Dupree, and of course Claire Cannon. So again, we're going to really have to adjust. But as far as the region goes, our region is changing. We're moving up to 10 teams, so it's going to make it even more difficult than we've had it before. But these girls have been priming for it all year, and I think the girls that are staying around are going to kill it. So just be prepared next year. There's going to be some big numbers and some big games going on. I appreciate everybody at the school that comes out and watches our games. It's great to see the field packed with spectators, parents especially. I get nothing but great remarks from the other coaches about just all the compliments you guys throw the other way also. So for everybody at Glendale, thank you very much. All right, so we're going to go into our awards now. Whatever It Takes award. This young lady has won this award before. She's always where I need her. She's always where I don't expect her, but she makes things happen. Whether it's offense, defense, something on a set piece, I'm not paying attention, I'm wandering off to do something else, I'm getting scolded by a referee. This young lady steps out on the field and takes care of business. So Whatever It Takes award, Diane Scalise. All right, next Woman Up award. My list always says for this kind of like most improved player, but for me this isn't an improvement. This is somebody that is good, is excellent, always strives for perfection, was injured last year and really couldn't show how good she was. This year, she came out and she showed everybody how good she was. She got a region vote from every coach in the region, and she was the #1 midfielder in our region statistically and in the eyes of every coach that was our opponent. So, next Woman Up award, Rosanna Ayer. All right, and finally, Griffin Award. For me, this is one of my team leaders, somebody that is always there, always has a positive attitude, quietly questions things without disrupting the team if something's not understood, getting people organized for me behind my back so that I don't have to scream and yell and chase them around. Just does everything that you want a captain to do. Somebody would say, hey, if they weren't my captain, I would probably hire them to run my business because they're that good. So my Griffin Award, Claire Cannon. All right, I'll let Mr. Hawkins go through the region awards and the AIA awards. I got to say, every single starter on varsity got votes for some kind of region or conference award. It was amazing. Every single one of them got nominated for something, and this team took home a lot of region awards. So they worked their butts off. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So like Coach said, we do have a number of region award winners, which is fantastic. So starting out with our honorable mentions, we have Brianna Cantor, Ella Smith, and Faith Dupree. For our second team all-region, we have Ariana Marshall, Mikhail Rodriguez, and Zoe Rich. And then lastly, for our first team all-region, we have Claire Cannon, Caitlin Cantor, Diane Scalise, and Rosanna Ayer. And also announced today, the 3A All-Conference Honorable Mentions, we have Claire Cannon and Brianna Cantor. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you again to Coach Ramsey and High School Varsity Girls Soccer. At this time, I ask that we please give a round of applause to high school JV boys basketball as they come up to the stage. The JV boys basketball team had its season full of growth. We ended the year playing our best basketball, winning our last 2 home games against 2 teams we had lost to earlier in the season. Our boys basketball program had our first ever freshman team, and they played against some of the strongest competition any GP team has ever faced and did not back down. We had some players going from never playing organized basketball to having major impacts in close games for both our JV and freshman team. This is a testament to our players buying into our program and putting in the hard work. Coach Roundy is excited to see the growth and development from all these boys heading into next year. Please help me in welcoming Coach Roundy.
So I want to start off by saying a couple of thank yous. I really want to thank all of these boys for really buying into my coaching, Coach Brown's coaching, and buying into our program and wanting to be the best athletes and best people they can be. So thank you, boys, for that. I want to say thank you to our parents for taking your time and going with every adjustment, whether it's weight schedule, practice schedule, games. You guys were amazing and just being very patient with us and all the schedule changes that came. So let's give it up to the parents real quick. Thank you. And I want to say a big thank you to the best basketball coaching staff in the state, Coach Brown and Coach Nash. Coach Cummeth can't be here tonight, but you both have really instilled into me what it means to be great and how to lead young men. And thank you guys for coming into our program and breathing life into this basketball program and helping others believe. So thank you. All right, let's get into the awards. Our first award, this young man, unfortunately, is not here tonight. It is Bryson Lee, our Whatever It Takes award. Bryson truly encapsulates whatever it takes. He was our most consistent athlete throughout the summer and fall, coming to open gyms, weight sessions, tournaments, all of it. He transformed his body and approach to the game this past offseason. Bryson is committed to the process and wants to be great. He's not where he wants to be yet, but I'm positive he will have another great summer and have a great senior season next year contributing to varsity. Whatever it takes, Bryson Lee. Our next award is our Next Man Up award. This award truly was the hardest to decide, as it could have gone to many people. There was so much growth by each and every one of these athletes. One player stood out, though, and showed tremendous growth dating back to his first year playing basketball last year. He was ineligible at the beginning of this season due to poor grades, but raised those grades and was able to rejoin the team and made an impact immediately. He is the ultimate energy guy and always made sure the team was staying positive. He also became my best on-ball defender and was just a pest to other teams we played. He's a little rough around the edges, but I like that about him. Gil Singh cares so much about getting himself and his teammates better. I know he will continue to grow and be a very successful player in our program, and I'm excited to see what he does for next year. And he has the best fit tonight. Next man up, Gil Singh. Finally, our Griffin Award. Our Griffin Award is someone who carries himself as leader on and off the court. This young man did not see much playing time as an 8th grader last year, but he leads by example every single day and does everything I ask of him. Earlier this season, I had a talk with him about using his voice. He would raise his hand when he wanted to say something to the team, being polite, but I told him, Maddox, if you have something to share with the team, you say it. He found his voice this season and had a great impact on the team. He was starting to hit his stride and playing his best basketball, then he injured his ankle, having to sit out for the remainder of the season. He was able to see the game from the perspective of being on the sidelines and leading his teammates using those observations. He came to every practice and game using his voice to better his peers. When I walk down the halls at GP, I'm happy to see Maddox Smith setting a great example for the middle schoolers on how to be a great student athlete. The Griffin Award nominee is Maddox Smith. Let's give it up for JV boys basketball. Thank you.
All right, thank you again, JV boys basketball. You guys get ahead over there. All right, everyone, I know we're tired. Middle schoolers, stay with me. We are now at that time where we are at the last team of the evening. So please give your loudest welcome to varsity boys basketball. Our varsity boys basketball team finished the season with a 13-7 record while capturing its third consecutive region championship. The season was filled with a ton of exciting moments, from GP's first in-game dunk, to broken ankles, to some amazing home court advantages on senior night and in our play-in game especially. Oh, and who could forget the famous bus ride back from Sedona? It was a collective effort where we pushed through adversity, having a next man up mentality. Though we didn't reach all of our goals, every single player contributed to our team's success, not just physically with their play, but mentally and emotionally with their leadership and commitment to understanding. This is who we are. Coach Brown and the staff could not be prouder of this group. Please help me in welcoming Coach Brown.
All right, thank you. Good evening to all, and to all, it's not good night yet, never mind. All jokes aside, I want to take this time to say thank you to Mr. Garrison and all of his leadership, being the best AD in the state. And I'm probably going to say this for him. He's probably going to thank his wife for all the long hours and all the long nights he had to spend here. And I will do the same thing for my wife. So thank you to my wife and to my best assistant coach. No disrespect to you, Mr. Nash, but Kamar Brown, who could not be here tonight. Many of you know him. He helped run drills in practice and ruin drills in practice. So I want to thank him as well. Thank you to Coach Hawkins for all your support on and off the court, sweeping the gym, getting all the books for me, and it goes on and on. With that being said, thank you, like Coach MJ said, to her sister E for the books. Chase, tell your mom I said thank you for hopping on those books as well. And to my staff, Coach Roundy, Coach Nash, Coach Cummeth, like he said, couldn't be here. I want to give a special shout out to Coach Cummeth, who was instrumental in all of our data collection for our stats and numbers, really changed the trajectory of our season, how we approached the games. And to Coach Roundy for believing in me, for trusting my guidance, trusting my kind of Phil Jackson-ish approach to letting you kind of fail and make mistakes on your own, but understanding that it was for the growth of your team and for our teams to come in the future. So thank you for trusting that. And to Coach Nash, the best handicap coach in the country.